Hello everyone, I am Tacet, and today I'm going to be going over a few teams for the recently added Kingdom of Dhrak-Zum. Of course, this ended up coming in a week ago. It's pretty relevant still, as all of its drops, or at least the Ultra Rare Plus drops, are still within the event key drop table, so if you're interested in getting them this week, definitely make sure to do so. There's two really good legends, as well as an Ultra Rare in the drop table. There's also a common that is pretty decent, but you can easily just get that off the gold keys, and it's not even in the event key drop table. But let's just go over some teams. I'm going to be starting with ridiculously cheap teams, and then working our way up to the more expensive ones that I normally use. So right off the bat, I had mentioned this before, but I've never actually shown it. It is triple Iceworm Valkyrie. It's the same thing as Deep Bore triple Rockworm, or triple Rockworm with an Apothecary, same difference, but we're just using it with a Valkyrie here, which gives us a +1 blue for our things, and it will even do a little bit of soul generation. Of course, this is by no means one of the better teams out there, but it is good enough that if you had no other options earlier on in the game, it would work. It's 3 commons and a rare, so ridiculously easy to obtain off of just a few hundred gold keys, and extremely accessible by pretty much everyone within the game. So we're going to go take this yellow here. Unfortunately, it did not surge. He does have a lot of damage to apply. If we do lose against this, I actually wouldn't be surprised that this is our 3 trophy battle, so very high chance that would occur. Obviously, we'd want to be taking one of our 3 colors, but there's nothing left on the board, so we won't be able to do that. He gives us a really nice move, but he does deny out our blue, which is really bad, as that is one of the core colors we need to be able to do anything on this board. So for now, we'll just keep poking with some skulls. Too bad we're not using rockworms, can't use those blues, but what we can do is, can't use those browns, but what you can do is go take those browns, convert them over. I want to get this guy to full mana before I start throwing this down, though. Main reason for this is, if we only have one, we want to have some kind of follow-up to it, either a Valkyrie or just something ready to go. Now that we have that up, he'll take a skull. Not that many on the board, only 9. Good chance that this first one will miss. I almost feel tempted just to take a red here because he's about to throw a Moneylender. There's no way to check how much gold the enemy has, so we do know he casts Alchemist, so he definitely does have enough to get a really big Moneylender, and because of this, we're going to want to take some away, just so his gem spawn doesn't end up hitting an extra turn. Still can, but at least reduces the chance, and he still hits it regardless, unfortunately, but that does give us Valkyrie mana. If nothing else, we'll go take the skull for free right there, just to get rid of the Alchemist, so we don't have an issue there. And now we can finally start doing what this team is supposed to do. So this first one's likely going to miss, and now we can start going from there. Should have enough on the board. We have 11 now, a couple different areas where we can extra turn. So this one should hopefully hit. Come on, and there we go. And we just keep doing this until we lose our turn. Throw Valkyrie here and there on something that's not her colors that she needs, and just keep doing that until you pretty much win. Hopefully we'll get this turn. No, he did not. Luckily, he does not actually use blue, so we do have that going to an advantage. Of course, if the enemy uses blue, that does make it slightly bit harder. Of course, you could replace out one of these worms for something else. You obviously don't have to use 3 worms. If you have a better option to put into the team, definitely do it. Queen Mab being one of the better ones that you could possibly use within the team. We'll kind of want to keep casting the first one in case it gets hit by a skull, just so we don't waste our mana on the other one. And yeah, should pretty much be dead. Just need like 2 more hits on it. It will kill out the one, but we have plenty more to go. And we can try getting in 2, 3, or however many Valkyries we need as well, just to make sure we get the max soul capacity. Earlier on in the game, it's going to take like 4 to 5 casts. Of course, we do it in about 2, but there we go. And now we get our max souls and a pretty okay win. Of course, if you have better options, do it. Mainly just a cheap kind of team to put together if you don't really have much else to use. So, on to the next one. Oh, gosh, he's using that with the brown. Yeah, it can be used for brown days quite easily. But we're going to be going into another budget team. Let's see if we could actually destroy this one. Actually, I might repick it just because there's so much skull reduction. So I am going to repick this one just so it doesn't take forever. Well, that's a little bit annoying too, but at least it doesn't have any skull reduction, other than on Christine X. But we're going to be going with this one. This one's also relatively cheap. It's ultra rare and below, except for Glaceon, which is in the event key drop table right now. It transforms all yellow gems to blue, and then all reds to doomskulls, but the reds to doomskulls being the particularly useful aspect of it. It also freezes the strongest enemy, which can help make sure that they don't really do any turns. Has immune to freeze, which is really good, so you don't get frozen. Has 65% skull reduction, which is currently the 3rd highest in the game, only behind Gorgulfa and Stonehammer. And while this last trait is pretty irrelevant and you can kind of skip on it, it does give you 3 attack whenever the enemy takes a skull, and this could be about 9 to 15 additional attack over the course of a battle. We're using the new Ice Goblin. Of course, I mentioned him earlier, but he does the 2 random gem explode thing, freezes a random enemy, and then gains an extra turn. This is an extremely good ultra rare. Very great value out of it. It's also the cheapest freezer in the game in that it is the lowest rarity of anything that can easily freeze out all the enemy simultaneously. Prior to this, it was something like an Ice Golem, which was epic rarity, or Queen Mab fully traded, which was legend plus fully traded. But this guy doesn't need any traits, and yeah, he's only ultra rare. So really cheap, easy to use freeze option, and he's also in the event keys. He also gets some okay traits. He gets 2 times went to the frozen troops, which you're going to have 2 things that freeze, so by the time you get to him, you'll probably have that on all the enemies, and he has immune to freeze, so you don't accidentally get frozen. This is also pretty relevant if you're using in a 4 times goblin team of some kind, mainly because he's the only goblin currently in the game immune to freeze, and goblins tend to be pretty bad against freeze because they all have an automatic extra turn on him, but his is protected, assuming he does not get stunned. We have Monkey Disciple for the HP so we don't die, as well as Yellow and Red, which are both the 2 things that Glaceon converts, making it easier for us to get converts. And we have Goblin Rocket just for standard board control and just for the Goblin synergy with both of them having their extra turns. And what's pretty nice about explosions in general between this Goblin Rocket and the Ice Golem, the Ice Goblin, is that with the Glaceon Doomskulls that it ends up creating, we'll be able to go and do chain reactions of all the Doomskulls exploding, since we'll be able to do one single explode that triggers into all of the other explodes. So that's pretty much the strategy we're going for here. So let's get into the battle. We're running with a yellow-green banner, a couple other ones that you can do depending on what you want to focus down specifically. I just figured I spread it around nicely just to give a little bit of everything to the real mana generators that we need. So right here, we're going to want to look at what our alignment is like. We can see that that's going to be over there and going to hope that he actually does go for it. I'm going to leave this purple here in case he feels tempted to deny us. So I'm going to take a brown surge here. Hopefully it surges. It does. He gets distracted by the skull, and that alignment is still there. So we're going to go and take that, and we should be good to go to get this team rolling. Looks like we'll have to go for a big chain reaction here. I could also do this one and actually get that chain reaction, so you know what, we'll do that for free. Go grab that, and I believe that is the win from this point. Of course, we'll go through this. It has 2 random explosions, but those explosions can lead into Doomskulls, which can then give you even more mana through everything else that explodes. Ideally, we'll get this back to full mana, and we do. Also, ideally, we'd have alignment, but I believe we do not have that. So we'll double check the board. Does not look like we have it, so we'll just go grab all that away. And we still do not have it. We have a little bit of a chain going. We could go clear the board. This will also give us the mana we need for our Goblin Rocket most likely, and it does. And we just basically keep doing this with both of these 2 to try to get alignment. One thing that's really nice is we can go for a explosion right here to deliberately give us alignment. So we could use this Goblin Rocket, let's say right here, so that we have those 2 reds right there. And those, oops, not 2 reds, I mean the red right there. But we have the nice little arch going, and then we can just go explode the thing, and there we go. And yeah, just keep using your Goblin Rocket to set up him, and just keep chain reacting at you. I don't even think we use this guy a single time, but of course, if your board doesn't really look that nice and you have a Glaceon up, you can go throw this guy. He creates a bunch of yellow and red, and then that will hopefully give you alignment, since both his converts are based on yellow and red. But yeah, we don't even need this guy. We just put like another Goblin if we wanted to. We'll go for that, get our explosion. Actually, this might be the time when we need him, because it doesn't look like we have anything. I might just go for this Doomskull just to apply some damage. We do have this. Let me actually go grab that real quick. Oh, never mind. And we get alignment from that. So go grab that. A really nice chain reaction right there. Might actually just go for the explosion, though, just to hit most of that off. Take our blues to get that back to full mana. We won't have it for converting, but that's still fine. Grab all that to take it out the way. We have a bunch of browns here, so I guess we'll feed that back into him so he gets the full mana. That does not give us alignment there. I think I actually kind of ruined it by doing that. But we'll try getting like a skull right there, and that will end up giving us it there. Nothing we could do to get it on that side. I guess I could try lowering something. I think I might have actually gotten rid of one that we could have had over there. I can move this down, and that actually does give us alignment right there. So we'll go do this. Bring all this down, and then we'll have a nice little thing right there that we can then go convert by the Goblin Rocket giving to us. Oh, he has that really annoying trait that keeps summoning, very rarely does this still get used. It's actually really annoying still, but it creates a, giant spider 50% of the time when it gets damaged, which, yeah, that is ridiculously annoying. But we'll go and just throw this down, keep applying our damage, keep getting his mana right back up. Looks like he's quite far away from actually reaching that, though, from where we're currently at. So we're just going to get a nice chain reaction off all those. And I think we'll finally go for this. We have a lot of yellow and red on the board, so we'll finally get him to cast. We actually missed, even though the board was set up relatively good, unfortunately. But that does happen. He doesn't have the biggest of gem spawn. So I'll go take that over. He's frozen due to our Goblin, so he can't do anything. Our explosion off the Goblin actually just killed him, so that's nice. And at this point, I guess we could just apply a couple skulls to him, and we'll pretty much be good to go. I kind of want to get Goblin Rocket back up, but there's no way we can do it for free at the moment. We'll go take that, and that doesn't even give us the mana, but the Cascade does. So we'll double check what kind of Cascades we have. I think I might just throw this down into the full mana on him, and see what we can use our Goblin Rocket for to give us alignment anywheres. A lot of things that you can end up doing with this. Pretty easy to actually land them most of the time. We spend just a little bit of time trying to figure out where it is. So, like right here, if we really wanted to, we could drag that down to get the yellow there for the extra turn. Trying to find it for skulls, though, but I don't believe we have it. That would be the better one to go for, but we'll just go for any amount of extra turn here. So we'll just go for that. Oh, of course, every single time he gets hit, he'll keep, or not 50% of the time. Still feels like every time. 50% of the time, he does 100% of the time. We'll kill that out, and I don't believe it can trigger on the final one. Apparently it can, and apparently it only has 1 HP left, and it does not want to go down. Okay, we'll go, and how many giant spiders did we kill this battle? I think it's up to like 5 now, it feels like. So we'll go do this, and just need to apply a little bit more damage. This gives us more HP so we don't die on that. Finally, it hits the extra turn for once. And we'll want to use our Goblin Rocket to make sure we get full mana on our Converter, while simultaneously make sure we still have alignment. To do this, I believe we just do it right here. This will give us the skull to red to doomskull thing. So we'll go do that right there. Get all that right next to each other, and then we can just go right into that. And that should be max if he doesn't create another one. There we go. He didn't create it that time. And down it goes. So that's a little bit more budgeted. Of course, the only expensive thing being the Glaceon, and the only traits you really need. I don't think I actually went over that too much, but the only thing you really need traded is Goblin Rocket's first trait. It would also be nice to have Monkey's Disciple fully traded, though not required. It would also be nice to have Glaceon to 2 traits, though again, not required. But yeah, that's pretty much all you need for straight Goblin Rocket. He's an ultra rare, so it's relatively cheap to get it. And everything on this team is actually ultra rare, ultra rare, and then the Glaceon being the only harder component. And with that being said, let's go into one that only uses the other guy now, the King Bloodhammer. The basically the Divine Ishbala with Forest Guardian combo with it is one of the better things to run if you're not going to be running specifically a Glaceon with it as well, or Gulf or anything like that. So with this, we're going with a Hellcat. This Hellcat does a transformed red convert. It's a beast, so we actually get half mana off our Forest Guardian's final trait. And we have a double convert with Divine Ishbala into the Forest Guardian, which loop between each other. And into that, we just have a Doomstorm that will basically just make it so once we get this team going, it just perpetually does Doomstorm or Doomskulls and Skulls for the rest of the battle. And we're running with a Talon banner because we do not use blue, and we're up against a pretty good team this time, so we'll see how it goes. Divine against a this team, so we'll see what happens with that. Right off the bat, we'll want to go for either purple or yellow to get our Hellcat up to full mana. Either or will end up doing the trick. So it looks like right here we'll go for a bit of purple. I could try for off the Cascade, but if we don't, he'll end up getting a 4 times. So we'll just try for the Surge, and we do indeed land it. Now we'll want to try to find somewhere to use a Hellcat on. Yellow isn't really the best of things to convert out, but since we don't have another option, I will go for that right now. So that gives us full mana on that. Now, we can go for him right now, though it's not an extra turn, so we might want to hold off just for a little bit to see what happens. Maybe try getting one of the other manas up. So we'll just take a skull for now. And we do have a double now that will end up hitting if we go for it. So now it's a little bit more tempting, so I think I am going to go for it. We'll also get all of our other manas up just a little bit. And we already got a kill, so we have the whole Doomstorm going. The only problem with that is he also has the Doomstorm going. So we're going to get hit by quite a bit here. Normally we'd be able to go and barrier our Hellcat to make sure that it can tank some of that damage with our Forest Guardian. But yeah, I kind of died a bit too quick. There also isn't much purple on the board. We're only really going to get that 1 poke, though I think I might still go for it. Because I believe we cascade a skull over there. No, he actually ends up getting it. Yeah, we don't get too much value if I actually go for this now. We're only going to get 1 single poke and like a little bit of cascade. Oh, we'll see what happens. Might as well. We'll go for it. And what do we do in reply? Infernus, but he doesn't actually kill anything. We're all the way at the edge, but at this point we should be good to go. We still have the Doomstorm and everything going. And from here we just need 1 more really big convert. So yeah, definitely can backfire. It is to be expected a little bit with this kind of guy. If you let the enemy have your Doomstorm, it will hit very, very hard. But we'll go let that go down. And yeah, that was a little shaky there, but it still goes down. Once you really get it going, it pretty much just stays going. Let's go do that one again, though. Do that team a little bit more justice than that. But yeah, let's go into that again. Oh, not against that. Show me a real team. There we go. Well, same thing over again. Well, this will be a good repeat then. Should go a little bit better. Biggest issue is getting a really good start. As you saw there, we got a pretty bad start, and this is actually even a little bit worse just because we won't have any way to really take our mana up initially. But once it gets going, it stays going, and that's one of the main things that matter. So right here, we'll go for the brown-red. Not really colors we need, but there isn't really anywhere to take colors that we need. So go grab all that. And come on, yellow-purple. We need you to appear without you using Mercy. So, of course, we could just wait out on a Mercy right now. I think I'm actually going to bait it out. I'm going to take this brown, and if he does it, he's going to... Ooh, never mind. That 1-3 over there is going to ruin my plan. Plan B, I guess take this brown over and see where things cascade. Oh, and I just give him an extra turn off that. Good job. Oh, there he goes with Infernus. As long as we don't have the Hellcat death, should be okay. Even if it does die like this previous battle, it'll still live. It's nice getting the Forest Guardian on it on spam. So all we really need now is this to Yellow Surge and him to not kill Hellcat. Okay, so we got that. And yeah, we should be good to go now. Blue is not one we want to go get rid of, but we do have it on brown, so we'll go grab that. And blues, you do have our alignment. Here we go. And this is what it's supposed to do. Took a little bit longer to get up, but still, that's what it's supposed to do. And then you, of course, keep converting between the other two like we were doing the previous battle. And that is that. Yeah, his Doomstorm is pretty ridiculous. Almost doesn't even matter what you use it with. Of course, mana generators and stuff is the whole kind of premise. Get your team going as quickly as possible. Go into some kind of double loop of any kind. Doesn't matter if it's double Goblin, double Convert, double anything, really. And yeah, you're pretty much good to go with that guy. And lastly, of course, the team you guys probably seen me use the most, but it's my personal favorite, and to this current moment in time, I would say the strongest possible team they can build with Glaceon and or King Bloodhammer, and that is Gorgulfa, Glaceon, Apothecary, and a King Bloodhammer. You have Gorgulfa for the frontline tank with 75% reduction plus board clear to hit all the Doomskulls, and you're pretty much going to clear the entire board every time. Even if you don't have an excessively high amount of explosions on the Gorgulfa, let's say you only have 13, you're probably still going to be clearing out the board because all the Doomskulls on the board. Of course, this guy with the double convert, plus the freeze, plus the skull reduction, so even if Gorgulfa dies, you still have a tank that's pretty much just as tanky as the Gorgulfa. You have Apothecary here, mainly for the cleanse, but also because it creates brown, which is what every other color on the team is. You could also easily replace Apothecary with just about anything, particularly like a Salvani Moor or something, to go and use this on Brown Day if you wanted to, and you could easily make this into a Brown Guild War Day team. Other than that, it also has Immune to Devour, which can come into play, and sometimes you might need to use in the last slot if they're running some kind of Kraken team, though that's not too common these days. And the King Bloodhammer, of course, is mainly for his Doomstorm, but he also comes in play just with his blue to Doomskull convert, which synergizes pretty well with the fact that Glaceon creates blue off its ability, plus Doomskull, so you have even better chance of being able to align it. You can put this banner into one of the minus purple plus 2 brown banners, or you can just put it into a brown-green or a brown-blue. I put in the brown-green just because the blue we're going to be needing for other stuff, and the brown, of course, is because we have so many of them, and the Apothecary will be able to feed them the extra little bit of mana. So right off the bat, we're going to get the Apothecary to full mana, pretty much like every converter team. You just try getting the converter up as immediately as possible, and there we go. Now we just need to go through our Apothecary. It doesn't really matter too much what we aim this at. Blue is not really a color we would want to do it at, but the main reason why it doesn't matter too much is we have Gorgulfa first slot, and with Gorgulfa, oh, I gave him all that, with Gorgulfa's explosion, we're going to be clearing the board every single time. Ooh, an attack reduction, though it actually doesn't matter. We have so much Doomskull damage that we could have 0 attack and still hit very hard. That's kind of funny that he got attack reduction. I kind of hope he gets another one just to see what will happen if we get 0 attack. He has a Element Grim too, which is pretty common to try to counter out this team. It does 4 attack reduction per extra turn, which is a lot of attack reduction, but Doomskulls hit so hard that it barely even is noticeable that they have something like that. So we have this on green. I'm going to go convert that out. Hopefully get some kind of damage to go down here. We still don't have the Skullstorm down yet because he's still alive, and we don't have any other alignments. With that being said, we'll just go clear out the board and hope he does attack reduction because I kind of want to see what happens. There we go. Oh, exactly what I wanted to have happen actually happened. Though that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I wanted to show what it looks like at 0 attack. So as you can see here, we have 0 attack. It's basically like we have, well, we have 0 skull damage, but of course Doomskulls still end up doing all of their extra damage. So if it says +5, well, we'll do 5 damage, and if we get like 4 of them, that'll be 20 damage and stuff like that. So yeah, it's not really that big of a hindrance here. So we'll go and get that down. As you can see, we still killed him out. It's like we're not even 0 attack right now. Of course, when we try hitting something with a higher durability, it'll be a bit more noticeable here, but still, it hits really, really hard. And as you can see, still goes down, and yeah. You know something's a bit too overpowered when you are 0 attack doing skull damage to kill. But as you can see, this is why I kept saying earlier why Entangle isn't necessarily the best thing to use against it, but it still at least helps some. That's not really a good example of it helping some, but yeah. Pretty much with no attack value whatsoever, just off the +5s off the Doomskull. It's enough to kill. So yeah, this team really has like almost no counter. I guess Mana Drain's about the closest thing these days to a counter to Doomstorm and just Doomskulls in general, because if they can't get their abilities off, they won't be able to go into the whole Doomskull spam thing. And if you have enough Mana Drain, you could just go use something like the Bloodhammer's Doomstorm against them, kind of like what happened on one of our other previous battles with the Nyx, where it kept draining us down and we weren't able to really cast on the board. That's about the closest thing you can get, really, to even attempting to counter this out. But yeah, those are the teams for the new kingdom. If you have any other suggestions or teams that you like using yourself from the kingdom, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Best of luck if you are still going to be opening any keys for that. Do keep in mind they're still in the event key drop table for the rest of this week. Anyways, hope you all enjoy your week, and I will see you all later. Goodbye, everyone!